the Pittsburgh Penguins, the path to glory has been long and arduous. For 22 years, the club never ventured beyond the second round of the playoffs. In 1991, the Penguins found themselves traveling into uncharted waters to keep a date with destiny. Once again, tragedy marred the team's path to glory. Last year, the Penguins took another step toward greatness by winning their second straight championship. This year, the Penguins have been driven to new heights by the inspirational comeback of their leader. The NHL knows the way to the Stanley Cup is through Pittsburgh. It's a road the Penguins have paved with back-to-back championships. It's the road to the Cup. The road to the Cup is brought to you by McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today. By Coors Extra Gold, slow brewed for real beer flavor. Coors Extra Gold. No doubt about it, beer is back. And by Eaton Park, the place for smiles. Good afternoon and welcome to the Road to the Cup. I'm your host, Bill Hillgrove, and it definitely is a hockey day in Pittsburgh. The Penguins will be trying to close out their first-round Stanley Cup playoff series with the Devils this afternoon. The Pens lead that series 3-0. The Pens can also extend their NHL record streak of playoff wins to 15 games, an amazing accomplishment in itself. In just about 40 minutes, the Pens and the Devils drop the puck at Brendan Byrne Arena for Game 4 of the series. The Pens can sweep the Devils away with a win today, and standing by rinkside with his push broom handy at Brendan Byrne is Tony Zarella. Tony, how you doing?
Good, Bix. How you doing today? The rocking crowd here at Brendan Byrne. We were wondering about the attendance today because they had, as we mentioned earlier on the noon show, 5,000 or 6,000 empty seats in the previous game, but they got a good crowd. A lot of people from Pittsburgh made the trip here. As you mentioned, the Penguins can sweep. They are out there for the skate around right now, right in back of me. The Penguins 8-0 over the last 2 years in clinching games, so they don't waste any time when they have the opportunity. They put the teams away. There's no reason to think they won't do that today, especially if you look back at the first 3 games. So let's take a look back.
In front, Lemieux scores! Power play. Samuelson to Yager, scores! Jaromir Jagr on a great setup by Kjell Samuelson.
We had a lot of goals from different guys, which was great. I mean, our offense was really spread out today.
Here's Lemieux with a puck for the Penguins. Behind the defensive driver, going for the net. Lemieux's in a goal. Backhander.
Once they got the third goal, they just smelled some. They just kicked it up to another tempo, and they were outstanding. Simple as that.
To Yager. Here's a shot by the Penguins. Steals Samuelson save made. Driven by Straka. He gives it to him. Straka back down. Then McEachran shoots. He scores! Bobby Holik with a long reach into the Penguins in. He'll let a shot go, and he beats Parasso. What a shot that was by Bobby Holik. On the right side of Murphy. Back to Lemieux. He's right there. A shot. Hey! Shoots and scores. Mario Lemieux. Well, the Penguins just shot it in and scored and have taken the lead 3-2. Peter Taglianetti shot it. It was deflected. Went in behind goaltender Craig Billington with the net. Blocked by Francis Stosny. In front man there. He fanned on it. Seamak got a great chance. Get an open net.
They shut us down the first 2 periods, but fortunately we got some good breaks in the third. Took advantage of it.
It has been an incredible start to the series. Again, they can sweep it today. Troy Loney will not play. His mother is taken ill. He has gone home to Alberta. In all likelihood, Mike Needham will be skating in place of Troy Loney today. Needham hasn't seen any action in this series, but he should be out there today. We'll have a lot more on that, plus an interview with Gary Bettman and one-on-one with Howard Baldwin later in the show. In the meantime, let's go back to you, Bix.
Thank you, Tony. Well, if you couldn't make the 7-hour trip to Brendan Byrne, well, the next best place probably is the Pittsburgh Sports Garden. And that's where you can find our resident hockey icon, high stick oxen rider. Albie?
Well, Bix, I'd rather be here in the South Side than in the swamplands any day of the week, especially with the fans up there today. They might be a little bit frustrated. The fans here at the Sports Garden, I think it's safe to say, are prepared for a big day as the Penguins try to complete their 4-game sweep. The fans here and the fans all over Pittsburgh, there you go. The fans here and the fans all over Pittsburgh have been collecting memories throughout this run at a third straight Stanley Cup. And while they've been collecting memories, a member of the Penguins has been collecting sticks. Steve Lattin, the equipment manager for the Penguins, has been collecting them since day one for the greatest hockey player in the world. By now, most fans have witnessed Mario's magic, but this is a story about what's behind the magic.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
These are Mario's magic wands, the notches on the belt of the NHL's premier sharpshooter. Every stick that has produced a Lemieux goal this year has been put away for posterity by Penn's equipment manager, Steve Lattin. It all started on a whim after Mario's first goal of the year against Philadelphia.
I just went over, I told him to tip his stick back, and he looked at me kind of weird, and he says, you know, this is a milestone. I didn't do anything. He says, just give me your stick.
And they've been doing the same ever since.
We really don't have any set patterns. When I score, he puts a mark on it and then puts it in the back room there.
This is the 1993 Mario collection. 73 goals were scored on these 58 sticks, including the playoffs. 5 of the goals came on this one stick against the Rangers.
The Rangers in, walks in on goaltender Ricker, and he backhands it in, he gets it fifth. Mario Lemieux with his 5th goal of the game, and the Penguins lead 10. Nicholson banked it off the boards.
Lemieux's shorthanded goal against the Devils in Game 2 is still fresh in our minds, and the stick that scored that goal has already joined the collection.
It's funny because I get referees and linesmen and NHL officials come in, they just want to look at them.
You know, at the end of the year, we'll decide what to do with the sticks, even for charity, or we'll decide what's best.
It's like I'm watching history right in front of me. You know, right now I don't realize it. Well, I should say I do realize it, but, you know, when I'm old and gray and I look back on them, I go, boy, those were great times.
That's it. Close the ball.
At the end of every workday, Lattin makes sure Mario's stash is safely secured in the vault. And Mario keeps his pace down Route 66, a superstar who speaks softly and carries a big stick.
He shoots and scores! And ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has just left the building. Mario Lemieux.
Just in case you're wondering, from the fun facts file, Mario Lemieux's stick into the air goes 60 inches high. That's from the heel of the blade up until the butt of the stick, the very top of the stick, 60 inches, which is a pretty long stick. But Lemieux, at 6'4" before he puts on skates, certainly is an imposing figure on the ice. So we talked to the glove man down at spring training, Bix. Now we have officially gotten Pittsburgh to know the stick man. That's quite a collection in the vault at the Civic Arena. Reporting live from the South Side, I'm Albie Oxenrider. Back to you, Bix.
Thanks, Albie. When we come back, Tony Zarella talks with NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman about new rules in hockey and Mario Lemieux's role as NHL Ambassador Plus. And we'll show you how the Penn's super subs hold the line.
I'd like to wish Scotty and the Pittsburgh Penguins the best of luck this Sunday, and hopefully you can bring home the 3rd. And we're proud of you, and keep your focus, and good luck.
Token this ain't life.
You're on.
You never know. You never know. I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. This ain't life.
Yes, it is. There's a new light beer for people who wouldn't consider a light beer.
What is it?
Introducing Coors Extra Gold Light compared to Bud.
I'm colorblind and I can tell it's dark.
Looks and tastes like regular beer. You won't believe it's a light.
If I didn't know this was a light beer, I would have never thought this was a light beer.
Coors Extra Gold Light. It's the rich, smooth, darker light beer.
I agree with him.
Modern science has revealed 2 kinds of fun. Kid fun, carefree, sometimes pointless, and parent fun, relaxing, mature. Field tests combining the 2 yield less than positive results. So, McDonald's applied the latest family fun technology to create Family Fun Night. Tuesdays from 4 to 8. A bodacious night of wacky games, 29-cent regular hamburgers, and free mini cones for the kids. McDonald's new Family Fun Night, hailed by scientists as a really cool deal.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's Tuesday nights. If you're not ready to make a long-term commitment, let's just make this short and sweet. Right now, you can drive a 93 Honda Accord LX with air conditioning, power locks and windows, and automatic transmission with only a 24-month commitment. Now that's short, and it'll only cost you $239 a month. That's sweet. 24 months, $239 a month. Short and sweet. That's how Honda does it. So if you're not ready for a long-term commitment, see your Western Pennsylvania Honda dealer today.
Since back in January, the biggest name in sports has been Mario Lemieux. After a triumphant return from a battle with Hodgkin's disease, Lemieux came back to the Pens lineup and shocked the hockey world by winning the NHL scoring title. His achievements opened eyes all around the world of sports and elevated Mario to a new level. Tony Zarella had a chance to sit down with new NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman earlier this week to talk about the image of hockey, and naturally, Mario Lemieux immediately came to mind.
Thank you, Bix. We had the opportunity to sit down and talk with Gary Bettman prior to Game 3. He's very excited, obviously, that the game is once again on national television for the second week in a row. We also talked about a few other things like rules changes, Mario Lemieux, and other things on Gary Bettman's mind as he tries to steer this league in the direction of his old boss, the NBA. So here's what Gary Bettman had to tell us earlier in the week.
We're delighted. This is a sport that I've said has been underappreciated and underexposed, and if we can increase the exposure, which being on both ESPN and ABC gives us greater exposure, I think more people are going to get an opportunity to see our great games and get turned on to the sport.
It obviously doesn't hurt to have somebody like Mario Lemieux out there and on national television.
Listen, Mario Lemieux may be one of the great sports stories in the history of sport. Not only what he's doing on the ice, what he's overcome personally. He's a terrific, person. He's a great role model for youth. I think he says it all about what we want out of our sports heroes.
But you obviously want to get it outside that quote-unquote regional sport tag. You want to...
I don't think it's a regional sport. I think that's an unfair characterization. If you include the teams in California, Texas, and Florida, there are 6 teams in the so-called Sun Belt, which is almost as many as we have in Canada. We go from Atlantic to Pacific, north and south. This is not a regional sport.
We obviously don't have time to go into changes or what might happen down the road, but what about linesmen making calls?
We have a new agreement that we've got to negotiate with the officials. I want to look at the officiating system and see ways that we can improve the officiating. Our officials are terrific. They have an impossible job, and we have to figure out ways to help them do it better.
Of course, Gary Bettman will be a little bit happier if this game is a close game so that the networks don't have to switch to the other games, because you look at the Devils and what they've done, or actually what they haven't done. Claude Lemieux, Peter Stastny, Bernie Nichols, John McClain, all held without a point in this series, so if they can't do something, it's obviously not going to be a very close game, and we've seen that prior in the other games. We're going to be back to talk with Howard Baldwin a little bit later on in the show. In the meantime, let's go back to you, Bix.
Thanks, Tony. Trying to beat the Pittsburgh Penguins is no easy task for the rest of the NHL. After getting past Mario Lemieux, Kevin Stevens, and Rick Tocchet, opponents quickly find out they're in deep trouble because of the Penguins' depth. Not only is this the Pens' #1 line, but it's likely the #1 line in hockey. Kevin Stevens at left wing, Rick Tocchet at right wing, and guess who in the middle?
Even if you're playing on the third line or the second line or the first line, it's something. It's a good situation. You don't really find situations like this on every team, and we're lucky to have that here in Pittsburgh.
After the #1 line of Lemieux, Stevens, and Tocchet, the Penguin lines are mixes and matches of names and talent levels that confuse fans, broadcasters, and writers, and confound opposing coaches. It's vintage Scotty Bowman, and nobody mixes and matches better than Scotty.
Well, I think he has his own ways during the playoffs.
I've seen it playing against him, and now I see some of the stuff he does playing with him. So he has his own schemes. They're tough to figure out, but he seems like he has the right people on the ice at the right time.
Well, I think of this team, everybody's played with different guys all year long, so I don't think it affects us quite as much as maybe if we were stuck on one line the whole year and changed now, but I don't think it affects us really.
Bowman's superiority behind the bench is no more evident than on the road, where the home team coach has the last say on matchups. In Game 3 Thursday night, the Devils decided to shadow Lemieux in suffocating fashion. Bowman had an answer for that strategy.
We've got a good familiar group with each other, so and if they shadow Mario too closely, we can throw a puck carrier like Yaromir out there. He seems to be the best puck carrier we have outside of Mario or Kevin, and it gives a different style to the other club.
Just how deep are the Penguins? 18 players were in double digits when it came to points scored during the regular season. When we come back, we'll go back to the Pittsburgh Sports Garden and Albie Oxenreiter, and we'll take a look at today's NFL draft, so don't go away.
Hello, I'm Fred Rogers. I'm proud to be your honorary captain. No matter what the score, in our neighborhood, the Pittsburgh Penguins are always winners.
There are times, Andy said, when it's best to play it safe.
Here for the swamp tour?
Especially when on safari in the Everglades. 14,000 square miles of alligators, snakes, and frogs that bite. So Andy suggested the great-tasting Old Milwaukee non-alcoholic. It's got to get better than this, I said, as Gil, our guide, took us butt bruising for the day. Good thing for a cold Old Mill NA, there's enough exhilaration already in the Everglades. And hey, you don't want to end up as gator bait.
$1.99 at Arby's. If you're not ready to make a long-term commitment, let's just make this short and sweet. Right now, you can drive a 93 Honda Accord LX with air conditioning, power locks and windows, and automatic transmission with only a 24-month commitment. Now that's short, and it'll only cost you $239 a month. That's sweet. 24 months, $239 a month. Short and sweet. That's how Honda does it. So if you're not ready for a long-term commitment, see your Western Pennsylvania Honda dealer today.
Welcome back to the Road to the Cup. Hockey's not the only big story in sports today. The NFL draft got underway just a few minutes ago, and yes, the New England Patriots made the first pick.
The Patriots select Drew Bledsoe, quarterback, Washington State University.
So Bledsoe was the first player to go, and then right behind him, it was the Seattle Seahawks. They decided to take a quarterback. That's Rick Meyer of Notre Dame. Then Phoenix switched positions with the New York Jets. They moved up to take running back Garrison Hurst of Georgia, and the Jets probably will take linebacker Marvin Jones of Florida, but that indeed has not yet taken place. We've got a lot going on in sports today. The Penguins aren't the only show in town, but there's a show going on at the Sports Garden, and Albie Oxenreiter is standing by. Albie?
Well, Bix, let's talk about the Penguins a little bit and what might happen. Should the Pens win today, then they, of course, complete that four-game sweep, and in that case, they would have a full week off before getting back on the ice in a game situation. If the Pens win today, they won't have to play another game until next Sunday at the Civic Arena. Games 1, 2, 5, and 7, potentially in the second round, would be at the Civic Arena. Certainly games 1 and 2. In fact, definitely games 1 and 2. Games 5 and 7 at the arena, only if necessary. Once again, Game 1, Sunday, May 2nd. Game 2, Tuesday, May 4th. That's a week from Tuesday. Game 5, Monday, May 10th. Game 7, Friday, May 14th. That's the second round, and the Pens, of course, will have the week to wait if they win. If the Pens lose today, they're back home tomorrow night. And let's fast forward to round 2 once again. Available tickets for round 2 will go on sale Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. at all choice seat outlets, including Gate 1 at the Civic Arena. And if I could say this, Bix, from watching the Penguins this year and from especially the last third of the season through the winning streak and through the first part of the first round, I think it's safe to say that this team is intent on demolishing opponents. They're not happy with just beating opponents. They'd like to get through these series in sweeps. They'd like to consider themselves and put themselves into the category of a cut above, and by just mowing over these teams, by sweeping through the Devils, by getting through the Patrick Division to the Wales Conference Finals, and then on their way to a third cup. The Penguins would like to etch their little piece of history as they move toward that third cup. I think this team wants to be considered a powerhouse, and they want to do that in the playoffs, and certainly they've started off in the right way. We'll see if they can complete the first round sweep today. Let's go back to Bill Hillgrove in the studio.
Thanks, Albie. The Pens haven't lost in some 50 days. That's quite a streak. Well, it's a full schedule for sports fans, and when we come back, we'll take you back to Brendan Byrne for some final words from Tony Zarella before they drop the puck in Jersey. Stay with us.
I'm Pitt football coach Johnny Majors. Good luck, Penguins, on your way to your third straight Stanley Cup championship. We're with you all the way.
Now when you buy a McDonald's Extra Value Meal, we'll give you an AT&T teleticket free.
Telephone number.
Good for 3 minutes of free AT&T info services or long-distance calls.
Come on now, be home.
Get sports updates, U.S. weather, world news, or make long-distance calls to anywhere in the U.S.
Where are you?
Extra Value Meals and free AT&T teletickets.
Oh, man.
Hello?
Sally!
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
There are times, Andy said, when it's best to play it safe.
Here for the swamp tour?
Especially when on safari in the Everglades. 14,000 square miles of alligators, snakes, and frogs that bite. So Andy suggested the great-tasting Old Milwaukee non-alcoholic. It's got to get better than this, I said, as Gil, our guide, took us butt bruising for the day. Good thing for a cold Old Mill NA, there's enough exhilaration already in the Everglades. And hey, you don't want to end up as gator bait.
This special presentation of The Road to the Cup was brought to you by Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. By Arby's Restaurants, where different is good. And by your Western Pennsylvania Honda dealers. Make it happen. Make it Honda. Welcome back to the Road to the Cup. You know, the Penguins are just about to sweep the New Jersey Devils. I have that sort of confidence. And as mighty as the Penguins are, it's not perhaps as incredible as just what happened. The Buffalo Sabres sweeping those Boston Bruins, a heavily favored team in that series. No, they're out in a sweep. Just incredible. We're about 15 minutes away from the Pens Devils, so let's head back to Brendan Byrne Arena in Jersey. One more time for Tony Zarella. He's got the best seat in the house.
All right, thanks, Bix. Yeah, I can't wait for this thing to get going. We're a few minutes away. We've been talking about the sweeps. Only 2 teams in the history of the National Hockey League have ever bounced back from a 3-0 deficit. One of those teams, the Islanders, did it against the 1975 Penguins, but Howard Baldwin, I guess the 1975 Penguins aren't the 1993 Penguins, and it would be very unlikely to see the Devils bounce back.
Well, certainly mathematically it's very unlikely, and historically it's very unlikely, but this team will take nothing for granted. I know if they can wrap it up today, they want to wrap it up today and then get ready for the next series. So there's nobody thinking, well, let's take the day off. They want to get going and win it.
We were just talking back there about you know, the fewer games obviously you have at the arena would generate less money, up to what, $400,000 a game for Howard Baldwin, but you're not worried about it.
I'm not at all worried about that. I mean, when we make our financial planning, we plan for the regular season and one round of the playoffs, so that as we go further, we're going to do just fine. We just want to win and do a good job for the fans and the community, and sure, we like to make money, but we want to win. They go hand in hand.
Let me ask you one more, because then we got to go. Don Cherry has been in the news lately. When's this going to be resolved as far as who the announcers will be, and is he really, is that a likely possibility?
Well, that all is a little bit premature. I don't know how it got out. It sure didn't get out from me, I'll tell you that right now. I like Mike Lang. I think he's done a great job, and I like Staggerwald. I think he's done a great job. I know Bill Craig, if he feels if he can upgrade the broadcasting team or make some adjustments to it, he wants to do that because he wants to do the best job possible. So I don't know anything about Don Cherry. That's way premature.
Okay, thanks, Howard.
Okay,
enjoy the game. We'll see you up in the box.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the Sports Garden before we wrap this all up. Albie Oxenrider standing by in Pittsburgh. Ox?
Well, Tony, I think we're safe because you don't have your hockey tie on today, and I think Pittsburgh can certainly be confident that because you don't have the tie, we'll be all right. The Sports Garden starting to fill up now. Fans are ready for hockey. We'll be here throughout the afternoon, and we'll have the best seat for you later on at 6 o'clock. Tony will have a live report from Brendan Byrne Arena. We'll tell you if the Pens wrapped it up or if there will be a Game 5 tomorrow night here in Pittsburgh. Back to the studio and Bill Hillgrove.
Thanks, Albie. Save me a seat, and thanks for joining us on the Road to the Cup. Don't forget to tune in at 6 o'clock tonight, WTAE4 News. We'll have highlights and post-game coverage from New Jersey. On behalf of Tony Zarella and Albie Oxenrider, I'm Bill Hillgrove. Enjoy the action. Game 4 coming up on 4 and ABC.
With a home equity loan from PNC Bank, you'll get the lowest rate you've seen in years, and you'll help your local schools get the athletic gear our children need. So, jump on it at PNC Bank.
If you saw a 13,500 orbit per minute DeWalt palm sander under Heckinger's $58 sale price, how would you feel?
We would not be amused.
And say you found Glidden Spread Supreme below Heckinger's sale price of just $14.92 per gallon. What would you say to Heckinger?
Hasta la vista, baby.
Not necessary. We'll match anybody's price on any identical in-stock item. At Heckinger, nobody beats our prices, ever. Guaranteed.
Heckinger!
AT&T 800 service would like a word with you. The word is freedom. Soon, businesses forced to choose a less reliable 800 service because they wanted a certain 800 number and maybe losing sales as a result will have the freedom to keep their 800 number and switch to AT&T, the best in the business. One more thing. Switch to AT&T now and get 100 days of free calls.
$1.99 at Arby's.
With a Ready Access CD from PNC Bank, you get a terrific one-year rate, your money isn't locked up, and you'll help your local schools get the computer equipment our children need. So tap into it at PNC Bank.
Don Cannon, Sally Wiggin, weekdays at 5.
This ABC first-round Stanley Cup playoff game is brought to you by Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. By the Pittsburgh Tribune-Review, Pittsburgh's colorful newspaper. By the new Dodge. See your local Dodge dealer today. And by Arby's Restaurants, where different is good.
The following is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
Is the difference. In game one, he kicked this one off the skate, onto the stick, and into the net. That was the game-winning goal in Pittsburgh's opening 6-3 win against the Devils. The shorthanded goal in game two made it 2-0, and it broke the back of New Jersey. Pittsburgh won it 7-zip. And in the last game, his fourth goal of the playoffs led Pittsburgh from a 2-goal deficit. This is the face of a champion, the greatest playoff scorer in National Hockey League history. He is the difference. The Pittsburgh Penguins take the ice at the Meadowlands. One more step towards yet a third consecutive Stanley Cup. We'll see. For the New Jersey Devils, are they taking steps that will lead them to the end of the 92-93 season? This is a must game for New Jersey. Hello, everybody. Gary Thorne and Bill Clement. Welcome to ABC's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs. What will motivate these two teams today, Bill Clement?
I think, Gary, we have to examine the incentives for both teams. From Pittsburgh's standpoint, it's the same thing that motivates great teams and great individuals, from golfers to hockey players. That is killer instinct. You get your opponent down, you finish him off. The Devils, I think the incentive is twofold. Number one, same old pride that motivates all of us. And number two, this is the important thing. At this level, athletes have a fear of losing. It is a terrific incentive and a terrific motive as long as you haven't accepted the notion that you're going to lose a hockey game. And I think we'll know, Gary, very early in this tilt whether or not the New Jersey Devils have accepted the fact that they are done in this series.
Well, one thing's for sure. They're against a Pittsburgh team that knows how to go to the jugular and put games away. They have done that already. They lead 3-0 in this series. And they've got a guy who likes to take things yet one step better, Mario Lemieux.
What would you do with a Motorola pager?
Never miss a meeting.
I don't know.
Mom's not home. Pagers.
All right, you got the pager number, right? We're going out.
Cool, this works.
What would you do?
Anything.
Anytime.
Anywhere I want. Really?
A Motorola pager lets you stay in touch with the important people in your life while doing the things important to you. The affordable, portable Motorola pager.
I get it!
Lasers, satellites, cellular data networks. What exactly are we preparing for? UPS introduces Total Track, the only tracking system that can confirm delivery of your air and designated ground packages coast to coast in seconds.
Was signed for at 9:26 this morning by Mr.
The arms race may be over, but the package race is just heating up.
You've driven these streets 1,000 times. But tonight, there's something different. Tonight, you're using Exxon 93 Supreme gasoline for a cleaner engine, smooth acceleration, and a full 93 octane.
Let the tiger set you free.
Rely on Exxon Supreme.
Got clients and travel costs to think about.
Can you help? I'm in Cleveland tomorrow, Toronto Thursday.
For the way you travel today more than ever, the Smart Money is on budget. Save $15 now when you use the American Express card at budget. The Smart Money is on budget.
She captured the all-around title. Now American Shannon Miller looks for more gold at the World Gymnastics Championships today on ABC Sports.
Welcome back once again to our studios in New York. I'm John Saunders. We'll get you out to the Devils and the Penguins in just a moment. We will also keep you updated on the Blues and the Blackhawks. Blues can wrap it up with a win in that one. And Calgary against Los Angeles as the Kings try to pull even. First, let's take a look at the brackets in the Patrick Division. Pittsburgh hasn't lost since losing to the Rangers 3-1 on March the 5th, 22 games ago. And the Islanders, they've won 3 straight games in overtime. To the hockey in a moment. First news from the National Football League draft. One trade. Linebacker Pat Swilling goes from New Orleans to Detroit for their #1 pick, the 8th overall, and also a 4th-round pick. The #1 pick in the NFL draft was Drew Bledsoe of Washington State, the strong-armed quarterback. #2, also a quarterback, Rick Meyer from Notre Dame. First time since '71, 2 quarterbacks have gone 1-2. The Jets had the 3rd pick. They traded that to Phoenix for the 4th pick. The Cards choosing running back Garrison Hurst. The Jets get Johnny Johnson and choose linebacker Marvin Jones of Florida State as well. Cincinnati with the #5 pick choosing John Copeland of Alabama. We will keep you updated on everything in the NFL draft and the hockey as well. We will have updates throughout the day. We'll see you between periods. Enjoy the game, everyone.
Both Visa and American Express Gold cards can get you to England for the golf vacation of your life.
Charlie, how did your yank do? Well, we're up on the 9th, see, and he wants to be up in 2, so he puts everything he's got into the shop, including his new graphite driver.
But should you have a stroke of bad luck, only Visa Gold can get you back on course, because Cape Cornwall's only pro shop doesn't take American Express.
Keep a grip on it.
Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
Taking a break, are you?
No break.
Oh, you smell good.
Well, thank you.
You wearing something?
Just my deodorant.
Oh, that Swab Super Stick I got you.
Yeah.
You like the Swab, huh?
Yeah.
Good. It costs less than your other one.
Yeah, well, I think it works really well. Don't you think so? You're supposed to be paying attention to me right now.
How many women tell their husbands they smell good while they're cleaning out the garage?
Just one.
That's right.
Yeah.
Super Stick. When Swab works this well, why spend more?
Filtered Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its smooth draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
It is the most celebrated trophy in all of sport. And on this, its 100th anniversary, the celebration will be all the more grand.
The National Hockey League playoffs, brought to you by Great Western's family of companies. $38 billion strong, Great Western will always be there. And by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Get out of the old, get into the cold.
The Meadowlands crowd here in East Rutherford, New Jersey, ready to cheer on the Devils in what could be their final game of the regular season. Welcome back, everybody. Gary Thorne and Bill Clement, our starting goaltenders in today's game, the man who has held the fort. This is Tom Barrasso, the 28-year-old, just turned 28 at the end of the month. He's won all 3 of the playoff games, and you see a magnificent 2.0 goals against and .942 save percentage. Chris Terreri did not start the last game. He did start the first 2. Terreri's playoffs numbers have not been good. You see the goals against by this high-powered Pittsburgh team. We are ready to go as Ron Francis will be facing Billy Guerin for the face-off. Francis will be out with Mario Lemieux and Joey Mullen on the line. Set in by Scott Niedermayer. Barrasso goes back to get it. Ramsey playing it in behind his own net. Bill, the strategy today, Jaromir Jagr with it for the New Jersey Devils. Do you come out just trying to bust this thing open early?
Well, if you're a Penguin, you do, obviously, because the Devils, let's face it, get down by a couple of goals, then they're really going to have to reach deep for the incentive. Scotty Bowman, the Penguins coach, has done something interesting. He has named Mario Lemieux his starting left wing. Herb Brooks countered with number 11, Dave Barr, because that's going to be one of the shadow situations. And what is happening right now to Scott Stevens is something the Devils don't need early, because it appears Scott Stevens has picked up a penalty by himself. Not coincidental, but by himself. You can see Lemieux just about to fish it to number 68, Jaromir Jagr, and Stevens just buried him from behind. Actually shot the puck, too. Things could have been worse for Scott Stevens. It looked like he shot the puck at referee Mark Fawcett.
That's the kind of frustrations the Devils display here today. They are going to be in real trouble. Scott Stevens, their captain, goes for cross-checking at 30 seconds into the game. And Herb Brooks' team, which has struggled with their power play unit themselves and do not want to give power play chances to this Pittsburgh team, is in trouble 30 seconds into the game.
Gary, Herb Brooks has looked for an exploitable weakness on this Penguins team, as any good coach would do. Problem for
Brasso at the other end, who works like a great sixth defenseman out there on the ice. He handles the puck as well as about anybody else on the Pittsburgh team. Played by Ron Francis. Power play here for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Francis lost it to Ken Danico, who clears it out. Pittsburgh has gone 5 for 16 on the power play against the New Jersey Devils here this season. Cleared to the wide side to Stevens, and it's going to be an offside on Pittsburgh. The Penguins come into this game under Scotty Bowman, having won 14 consecutive playoff games. He is the winningest playoff coach in National Hockey League history with 133 career playoff wins. And this Pittsburgh team has not lost in their last 21 games, going 20-0-1.
Needless to say, Scotty and Big Mario aren't going to change very much. The one thing they want to improve upon from Game 3 in here, where they had to pull it out in the third period, they want a sharper start. Mario Lemieux and the coaching staff all said we were not sharp early in the game. All right, we're happy we won the hockey game, but we didn't win it the way we wanted to. So early in this game, we want to be as sharp as we were in games 1 and 2 at home.
Pittsburgh power plays in this series. Mario Lemieux's picked up 1. Larry Murphy, Kevin Stevens, Mike Ramsey, Rick Tocchet all have power play goals. Ken Danico chasing it into the corner, cleared up, held in. Larry Murphy off for Francis. 1:06 left on this power play chance early in the game. Murphy the shot, save made Terreri, bounced it to Lemieux, knocked it away Casatonov. Devils come short-handed. They've got a 3-on-3 short-handed. Bruce Driver, save made by Barrasso. Tom Barrasso with a left pad save that time, and he checks his stick. Thought he might have broken it after the puck went off it. Knocked away by Richer, Casatonov, and Richer will clear it into the Pittsburgh zone. 38 seconds remaining on the power play chance for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Larry Murphy stays out. Dumped off for Lemieux. Lemieux sends it in behind the net. Terreri goes back to get it. Terreri plays it into the corner. Tommy Avalon couldn't get it. Dave Barr will. Barr coming short-handed with Francis on. Ron Francis knocked it away. Barr tried to regroup. Was tipped right in on net. As Kevin Stevens, the Pittsburgh forward, got a piece of that, and it went on his own goaltender. Pittsburgh will change it up on the fly here. Sent in on goal by Murphy. Joey Mullen. Mullen looking. Joey Mullen goes back to the point. Tried to, and it's knocked out of the zone. Oh, couldn't. Lemieux to Jagr. Jagr tried to get it to Larry Murphy. Shot right through the crease by Jagr. The Devils coughed it up in their own zone and got away with it. Tommy Avalon brings it in. Jagr on him. The penalty is over, and we are back to even strength. What a chance Pittsburgh had at the end of that power play. They ended up in a 2-on-0.
You know, they'll hang behind the play, Gary. It appears as if the penalty killers are going to get out of the zone. Jaromir Jagr and Mario Lemieux have such confidence in the defense that they'll kind of leave them alone back there to turn the puck over and get it back in deep to them. So they don't exit the offensive zone until the puck exits the offensive zone, in which case there'd be an offside. They just hang back in there. So that's why they end up with so many great scoring chances in deep. And they've got the defensemen on their penalty-killing unit to break up the play and get it back in deep to them.
Pittsburgh being led by Lemieux's 6 points. Ron Francis with 6 points. Lemieux has 4 goals. Sean McEachran has picked up 3. Jaromir Jagr has 2 in this playoff series. Pittsburgh is without Troy Loney, a left winger today. We extend our best to Troy Loney and his family, as his mom has taken ill and Troy Loney has gone home today. So he is the change in the lineup today for Pittsburgh.
Back him up.
Picked up by Seamack. Seamack drops it off for Stevens into the zone. Taglianetti. Stevens holds it in. Tippett gives him a bump as he fed it into the wide side corner. Hauled Samuelson over. Samuelson got it out of the zone. Sean McEachran to Tippett. Tied up and Seamack takes it away. Alexander Seamack's shot is blocked by Al Samuelson. Over to get it, Zalapukin. Seamack wrap around through the crease. That was blocked in front by Samuelson before it got in on net. That one right through the crease. It went under the stick of Tom Barrasso and wide. Taglianetti stood up along the blue line by Stevens. Scott Stevens back to get it. Claude Lemieux. Lemieux the move. Lemieux in. Lemieux the shot. Rolls it wide and in he goes to the goaltender, and a penalty coming up as Claude Lemieux got nailed from behind. The sticks get up in front.
Cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its smooth draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
Well, the Devils get a power play thanks to a hook by Ulf Samuelsson. Claude Lemieux is the man that made the play, and he really made a good move to pull inside of Samuelsson. Watch what Lemieux does here when he can't score. He is not going to bail out. He's going to try and ram into Tom Barrasso. And Gary talked about the Devils accepting the notion that they were already done in this series. Well, you know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for hitting. I'm looking for races to the puck and just an overall energy level. The Devils have shown me so far that they haven't bought into that notion that they're already done in this series.
Ulf Samuelsson goes, so the Devils get a power play chance in this scoreless first period. The Devils' power play has really struggled here in this series, going 1 for 18. Reshaded John McLean, deflected out front. Ulf Samuelsson taken away by Francis. He's hit behind the net by John McLean. And on the near side, nowhere to go. Tommy Avalon able to hold it in. Short-handed. Pittsburgh's dangerous short-handed. Number one reason, 66. Lemieux dropped it off, but it was behind Francis. Devils break up. Bernie Nichols. Stevens back to Nichols. Tied up Shell Samuelsson. Good play by Shell Samuelsson. Down go Atusa. Stevens thought his stick had been held, and he's screaming at the referee, Mark Fawcett, about it.
No, I think he was right, but Fawcett was screened on the play. It's a one-man job. You got one pair of eyes, and there were about 3 people between Fawcett and Stevens, but it looked like Mike Ramsey held the stick. All right, now the Devils will get their call.
Power play coming as Mario Lemieux is going to pick up a call. Short Devils. Nichols deflects to the corner. Driver shot. Save Barrasso, and that will get the whistle. Mario Lemieux will go to the penalty box. He doesn't believe it. John Saunders does. Hey, John.
Well, guys, St. Louis trying to make it a sweep against Chicago, and Jeff Brown breaks in, and watch Ed Belfour come up with the great save, keeps them scoreless 4 minutes into the game. Back to Gary and Bill.
John, thanks very much. John will keep us updated on other games going on in the National Hockey League playoffs.
Here is the call that Mario Lemieux picked up. Bruce Driver, 23 for the Devils, who's going back. Mario just tugging. But at one point, he went for Bruce Driver's knee, and I'll tell you what, Driver bailed out at the right time. It didn't look like it was hard enough to be called a trip or a hooker. When you get some help from the guy that's going down, it ends up being a tripping penalty. In training camp, Bruce Driver might have been called for a dive, because that is now on the books. You can be called for a dive. Driver made that one look so good that Fawcett didn't buy into the dive. He bought into the trip.
Mario Lemieux picked up only 38 minutes in penalties during the regular season. Goes on the penalties here. That's his first 2 minutes worth. Driver helping to create that one, and the New Jersey Devils now have a 2-man advantage for as many as 53 seconds. So here is a big chance early on now for the Devils. There you see what they did during the regular season and what they have not done during these 3 playoff games against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's penalty killing unit, not to be overlooked on all of this. Pittsburgh finished 4th during the regular season in killing them off. Pittsburgh gave up 9 of 21 on 2-man advantages during the regular season. Long time to get the face-off underway here as Peter Stastny has come out to take the draw. A 2-man advantage for the Devils. No score in the game. Shots are 5-4 in favor of Pittsburgh with 15:07 to go in the first. Richer and Driver are playing the point. Stephane Richer, the shot. Kicked away. Bounced off Claude Lemieux's skate. Richer racing over to hold it in. Scott Niedermayer, the 19-year-old rookie. And what a series he has had along with his regular year. Lemieux back out for Richer to Driver. Driver over to Peter Stastny. Not connecting on the passing. Lemieux went back to get it. Kjell Samuelsson tied him up. Peter Stastny has it. Stastny drops it back for Driver. Shot on. Scores! Stephane Richer!
Barrasso has absolutely no chance on this one, and the shot comes from a guy that had 5 terrific scoring opportunities in Game 3 and capitalized on not one. Stephane Richer. I mean, no goalie can stop a bullet to the short side high, and you can see the release emotionally from Stephane Richer. He has really tried hard in this series, Gary, and he knows, he said, as well as Bernie Nichols, if our line does not score, the line of McLean with Richer and Nichols, we can't win. This is the first point for their line in this series.
Stephane Richer, obviously that his first playoff goal here. He led the Devils in goals during the regular season, and the Devils take the 1-0 lead. For the second time in the 4 games, they are on the board first as they were in Game 3. They still have a power play for another 1:08 in the middle. Lemieux drops it back to Lemieux. Couldn't get it. Tip it. Will clear. The goal came on a 2-man advantage at 5:22. Richer from Driver and Stastny on the power play. Now it is a 5-on-4 power play. Niedermayer leaves it. Stastny in the middle, taken away by Rick Tocchet and cleared out. The Devils get their goal on their 5th shot of the game and have the 1-0 lead. They still have 40 seconds left in this power play. Driver going up the middle with it, lost it. Kjell Samuelsson sends it in. Terrari holding up behind the net. So New Jersey in this all-or-nothing game does get on the board first, and that really matters against this Pittsburgh team. Sent around the net by Nichols. Tom Barrasso in to get it. 20 seconds in the power play. Rolls to center. Chipped away at center from Mike Stapleton, getting playing time today with Troy Loney out of the lineup. In the middle, Tommy Avalon. His pass taken away by Tocchet. He finds the lane and sends it the length of the ice. 6 seconds left, and Mario Lemieux will be coming out of the penalty box. Nichols drops it off to Richer again. Taglianetti with him. Penalty's over. Lemieux back out, even strength. Barrasso will glove it. There's no white jersey around him, so he's going to play it off. Mark Fawcett, the referee. Gerard Gauthier and Mark Vines are working the lines in today's game. Stephane Richer sends it in. Bernie Nichols. Nichols looking to the middle. John McLean cutting. Lemieux stepped in front of him. Gets it away to Samuelsson. Ulf Samuelsson for Joey Mullen. Nice read that time for Tucson. Intercepted. Francis drops it for Mullen onside. No. Mario Lemieux is down on the ice, taken down by John McLean, and that resulted in the offside.
The power. The mystery. The life. Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. Rated PG-13. Special sneak previews Saturday night.
America's first choice. Napa Auto Parts.
Welcome to Napa, America's most complete source for quality auto parts and accessories. And now get hot spring buys at Napa. Quality Napa motor oil just 99 cents a quart. Get 2 Napa Silverline oil filters just $4. STP oil treatment is free after double mail-in rebate. And don't miss this special value. Napa's 5-piece cooler combo just $19.99. Save big on hot spring buys now at Napa, America's first choice.
Mario Lemieux picked up that penalty that created the 2-man advantage for the New Jersey Devils and the goal. Out to take the faceoff against Dave Barr, one of the Devils who will be in his jersey all day long. Cleared into the corner. Terrari goes back to get it. Chris Terrari had it blocked. Yager knocked him down. The puck comes out in the middle. Terrari's collaring at Mark Fawcett, wanting to know why a call wasn't made as he got hauled down. That's going to be a 2-line pass on Pittsburgh. That will draw the whistle.
You know, the referees have really allowed the goaltenders to a degree to become fair game when they get out of the crease. And let's face it, energy levels are running so high. Chris Terreri wasn't really hit hard. A little bit of a takedown by Jaromir Jagr, so Fawcett let it go. Terreri far smaller than Tom Barrasso. Barrasso 6'3", 215 pounds, so you can rough up Tommy Barrasso and not even knock him off his feet. Terreri's just a little guy.
Tommy Barrasso now with 41 career playoff wins against only 24 losses. Chris Terreri on the other side of the coin for the New Jersey Devils. Now won 8 and lost 11 playoff games in his career. Comes to center ice. Grant Jennings ahead to Lemieux. His pass blocked back to Jennings, up to Lemieux. Pittsburgh's way offside here. Won't matter for the moment as it's cleared to center. Bobby Holik brings it up. Holik, one of the scorers for the Devils who they need to get going here in this playoff series. Jaromir Jagr. Jagr had Dave Barr and Billy Guerin following him around. Into the corner, Driver. Driver had the puck. Still has it behind him. Jagr trying to chip it away. Does. Jagr centered. Lemieux shot. Save made. That long reach of Mario Lemieux allowed that shot to even happen. And he did sweep it in with some pretty good zip on it that time. Terreri had to knock it away.
You know, Dave Barr is still doing a good job. Now Barr is going to the bench because Lemieux has gone to his bench, but he has been shadowing Mario Lemieux, doing an excellent job. Lemieux's reach and strength are so superior to those of Dave Barr. Even when he thinks he's got him covered, he doesn't. And that situation in front was a good illustration of that.
Zelepukin and Murphy. Valeri Zelepukin for the Devils in their offensive zone. Murphy took it away. Kicked away by Seamack. Seamack. Alexander Seamack, second in goal scoring for the Devils this season. Couldn't hold it in. Stevens back off the boards for Claude Lemieux. Played out by Mike Ramsey. Zelepukin knocks it away to Seamack. Alexander Seamack goes wide. Onside shot by Lemieux is deflected into the seats. Seamack, the 27-year-old, played 5 years in the Soviet Elite League with Dynamo Moscow and has been a very pleasant surprise for the New Jersey Devils this season.
Well, at 6'5" and using the maximum stick length of 60 inches, 5 feet long, here's the problem for Dave Barr. You can see Barr thinks he's got him tied up. Then Mario is able to get the puck out in front of him, shield the puck with his body, and then spin around. I mean, look, both Ken Danico, number 3 of the Devils, and Dave Barr are there, and Lemieux still manages a scoring chance. But the only way to take Mario Lemieux out is to eliminate his stick. The problem with that theory is that to eliminate his stick, most of the time you got to hold it, and that's foul.
In other words, no one's find a way to stop him.
Exactly.
One of the reasons he's averaging 1.98 points per playoff game. No one has ever done that. He still has a long way to go to catch Wayne Gretzky for the scoring titles that Gretzky holds overall in points. But the pace, no one's ever done it at a better pace than Mario Lemieux. Great to have you with us on ABC's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs at the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey, home of the New Jersey Devils. They came back from Pittsburgh down 2-0 and put up a great fight in Game 3. They came to within 1. They had a 2-goal lead, but that's how good Pittsburgh is. They battle back. So now the Devils here at home, they don't want the season to end here. Pittsburgh very much wants to put it away and put some tee times up tomorrow for a day off.
You have to be impressed with the way the Devils are playing, simply because they played their best, I think, Gary, as well as they could play in Game 3, and it still wasn't enough. To a lot of people, that would end up in a defeatist attitude kind of thing, but not here.
Dave Tippett in. Tippett, the shot. He missed it as he went for the wide side. He had Joey Mullen on the right wing, cruising in with him. Peter Taglianetti drops it off near side to Samuelson, who avoids the check. Fetisov got a one-on-one down low, but he won it. He had Joey Mullen right on his back. Richer, who's got the goal, cleared it in. Over to get it, Peter Taglianetti. Taglianetti said, "I've died and gone to heaven twice. I was with Pittsburgh originally for a Stanley Cup. I ended up being picked up by Tampa Bay in the draft. Now I'm back." Over to Tippett. Tippett centered shot. Terreri on Francis. Makes the save. Joey Mullen digs it out. Mullen for Tippett. Blocked. And Richer plays it to the corner. Stefan Richer. And he'll move it out of the zone for the Devils. Near side, Fetisov, the defenseman. Slava looking for a little help from the forwards. McKay was cutting, but he got cut off by Shel Samuelson. Barrasso played it to the corner. Comes to Dave Tippett. Tippett has Lemieux up ice, tries to get it to him. Dave Barr all over Lemieux. Back comes Driver. Bruce Driver looking. Billy Guerin cutting, but he couldn't get it through the middle. Good play by Kevin Stevens. Comes to center, Ken Danico. Devils have got to clear the zone. They have not yet, and they haven't. Bobby Holik picked it up, but Billy Guerin was so deep he couldn't get back out of the zone.
Well, Dave Barr is doing a terrific job against Mario Lemieux. Herb Brooks told me before the game what he wants Barr to do is eliminate Mario Lemieux so that he creates a 4-on-4 elsewhere. tough to eliminate Mario, but if he can do it, Dave Barr's got a couple of wingers usually out there. Billy Guerin, number 12, and Bobby Holik, number 16, that Herb Brooks feels are good outside skaters. They're big, strong. They're good shooters, good forecheckers. So if Barr can eliminate Lemieux, he thinks those two power forwards can do some business 4-on-4 against Pittsburgh.
Barr's doing a good job this first period on the face-offs. He's won a couple against Mario Lemieux. Played by Samuelson behind his own net. The Devils are leading 1-0. Shots are even at 6. Danico giving chase and icing. If he gets there first, he won't. Good play made by Kevin Stevens as he raced it down. In front of the net. Shot just wide. Mario Lemieux. Who else? And a penalty coming on Ken Danico. Danico dumped Kevin Stevens, who is going after the rebound for his second shot. Power play for Pittsburgh coming up.
When I was a young boy,
Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its smooth draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
Greatest man alive. But now I'm a man, way past 21.
The best defense is not to offend. Thus, introducing the new Right Guard Sports Stick. Now with a time-release formula for longer-lasting protection against hostile odor all day. For protection that endures.
I feel Danorex tingling on this side, nothing on the head and shoulder side. I love that tingle, so I tried Danorex for my dandruff. It really came through. The flaking stopped, my scalp doesn't itch.
Danorex with conditioners, the serious dandruff shampoo.
I've switched to Danorex.